So the French government has collapsed again, and the prime minister was voted out after a vote of no confidence. Former Prime Minister Francois Bayrou was voted out after a new political crisis has plunged France into chaos. And it just looks like this guy became the scapegoat. Now, this political crisis actually stems from an economic crisis that France has been experiencing for more or less 3 years. That number is significant for various reasons. Now, on his way out, Francois said that you have the power to bring down the government, but you do not have the power to erase reality. Reality will remain relentless. Expenses will continue to rise, and the burden of debt is already unbearable. Well, that's pretty sinister, and turns out he has some precedence for that, considering that this is the 5th prime minister that France has had since 2022. Now, as you comb through that particular CNN article, you'll hear them repeat that there is a problem with the French economy. There's a problem with French bonds. There's a problem with the sovereignty of French currency. You hear that a lot. And yet, they actually never talk about the cause. And like I said, 5 prime ministers since 2022, that time frame may have some significance to those who've been paying attention. You see, since the beginning of 2023 up until this point, that has been the time frame that France was kicked all the way out of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. Niger being the country principally that France got the majority of its uranium from that powered the entirety of their nation. And the Sheniy mine that's operated by the French company Orano was nationalized. In other words, Niger keeps that money. Niger decides how that uranium is shipped out and imported. And Niger profits off of the currency and the resource that France has been stealing for decades. The problem is, if you're Macron or any other politician, it's kind of inconvenient to say out loud that your economy is crumbling because all of the resources that you stole are no longer being allowed to be stolen. And there's nothing that you can do about it. Oh, but also by admitting that your economy is directly suffering because of the impact of the inability to rob Niger, to rob Burkina Faso, to rob Mali in the way that you did in the past, you're also admitting African revolutions are working. Oh, and also, just as a side note, because France wasn't willing to conduct bilateral negotiations with Niger, Russia decided, hey, we'll do it. And so now you have to admit that because of your unwillingness to work with the Africans, Russia is going to benefit alongside Niger in this new order in the Sahel region. So all those posts you're seeing on social media about French people in the streets, about this new prime minister that's about to take place, about the prime minister that was just ousted, about the political collapse of the French government, they're telling you every single part of the story except for the most important part, which is the most important takeaway. The African revolution is here, and it's working, and the West is suffering because of it. Revolution works, and by purposely hiding this part of the story, they don't want you to know that revolution actually works, because God forbid other African nations become inspired to act in the same way that Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali have. So like they said, although the revolution will not be televised, it will damn sure be monetized, as Niger is finding out and France is finding out the hard way. Shout out to Niger and shout out to the Sahel region. Keep it up. You are inspiring millions around the world, and we're watching. Even if they won't tell your story, we will.